Okay, so we're back. And I don't necessarily remember what we were doing most recently. Besides, I know a little ways back, we were going through a lot of monster dens. Might have been the last thing that we did. And, so last time we did a lot of exploring in the wilderness of Velen. And we might continue to do some of that because there are definitely some sections in and around here in the southern areas on this mainland where we have not completed various encounters, even in the bottom right over here, although these appear to be mostly just boats for transport. Not sure we've gone all the way down this path, so there might still be things that are not showing up on the mini-map that are kind of hidden. So I'm thinking we might try some of that stuff out. And there are a few, like this guarded treasure I think was a little bit out of our league, although we might be far enough along now that we might be in good enough shape to give that a shot. And let's see what other quests we have. There might be some side quests. Novigrad at level 10 is not that far away from our current level. A Wild at Heart. I think we were talking about giving this a shot at one point, and then we didn't end up doing it. Although, actually, we have two quests that are right around our level, so we should probably see to those. Actually, might be a good idea to do those right now. Prioritize that. So, let's see. Following around the well-shaded village of Blackbow, Harold happened across a notice. Stated a hunter named Neelan was looking for any help he could get finding his wife. Okay, yes, I do remember reading this. Several times, potentially. Who disappeared in the nearby woods. Okay, that seems like that is probably a good thing for us to do. Level 7 is not too tough, so theoretically, we should be able to handle it. And then we can leave the exploring the random unexplored areas for some other time, because that's not as time sensitive. I'm assuming... Some roach there. There we go. There she is. I'm assuming that the random things that we happen to come across are not so time sensitive.
Take it easy.
Something over here. Some kind of monster. As soon as we hop on our horse. I think we've been here before. Level 18 Necker? That is a super Necker. What the heck is this guy? Ow. Yeah, that's a lot of damage, not so surprisingly, from the Super Necker. We probably want to have Quen. Would be my guess. What is the deal with this guy? He burrowed underground. It could be anywhere, yep. Now, we don't have our Quen back yet. I would like to have it, because he can theoretically deal a boatload of damage to us. This would be another example of something that theoretically is a little out of our league at the moment. Doesn't mean we're not going to give it a shot. Ow. I would greatly prefer to have Quen up at all times, though. And this guy was pursuing us rather aggressively. Could do this again. I mean, it looks like this could be some kind of guarded treasure, although it didn't show up on our map. I thought I recognized this little area here as a spot we'd been to before. Is this another Super Necker? It looks like it might be a Necker with the same kind of headpiece. Yup. Ow. Yup. Okay, so I'm surprised that there are monsters that are significantly stronger than we might have expected in this area. We've definitely had that happen to us on a couple of occasions. I mean, this is not so extreme. You know, if we were to upgrade some gear, then we might possibly be able to do that fairly soon. So it's not out of the question by any stretch of the imagination. Just maybe not the best fit right now. Seen this? I mean, this should be the main path. Thought we'd been down here. There is... Controller was vibrating there. Not exactly sure why. And yes, there's clearly some stuff over here. Roach does not like when I start throwing punches. Even if we climb up here, ow, appears as though we're good. So, I don't know. Let's not swing our sword at Roach. Let's actually mount Roach. There we go. Peace at last. But yeah, so we will probably end up doing some, let's see, we're going this way, some gear upgrades at some point, and or repairs, I should say. But I'm hesitant a bit to repair gear that feels like it is kind of junk, and that feels like that's sort of the state in which we are right now, is that even if we were to upgrade our stuff, yeah, sure, it would probably make a difference, but how significant of a difference doesn't feel like much. The dog? Awfully red. Yeah, it's just a normal wild dog. Wondering if it might be some kind of super version, like the Neckards we saw mere moments ago. Here's not. Although this, we think it. We must have. I vaguely remember this. There's what, like some Nectar's guarding. Oh. Oh! I take it back. We'd been here, but I think we were looking around high and low and could not find this thing. So let's see. Delatelli bless you, Mizzle. Listen, Mizzle. That little case you gave me to transport, was there anything of value inside? Because thing is, I had a bit of an unfortunate work accident and, well, blasted case fell in the water and I couldn't spy it for the life of me. I tried to fish it out, but some devil must live on the bottom there, because every time I tossed my net, I'd catch a snare. Maybe there's, I don't know, some way I can repay you? Discount on your next shipment, maybe? Sincerely, Willich. Now, oh, an unfortunate turn of events. I think we did, yeah, ultimately go in there and loot it. So, as soon as we start the quest, we also finish it. That's cool. Doing things a little bit out of order, I suppose, but hey, it's done.
Faster.
And I'm mostly just going to follow this path. It should be directing us toward our quest, should it not? Let's see. Confirm. Where is our quest? Is it all the way? Whoa! And we have... I don't think we've been to this area over here at all. In this second or third island, depending on your perspective. So there's definitely a lot of things to explore as soon as we cross one of these bridges. I'm assuming we can cross one of these bridges, and that we don't need one of those special passes, although that might be the case. We did theoretically pick one up, although I'm pretty sure that was to get up here into this area. So I'm, yeah, intrigued. But, yeah, so we'll explore some of the area there and maybe get the chance to check out that entirely new island. But, also just wanted to mention that, yeah, so we'll continue to mess around a little bit. And, yes, obviously with our gear not fully upgraded and with tools, lots of tools, actually. And with us, I mean, we've been starting to do our fair... Oh, there's a human over there as well? That's odd. Not sure what's happening here.
Show me what you got.
What is this guy doing? Oh, it's this guy again? The number of times we've saved this guy's butt. He owes us. Big time. Big time. But yeah, so we're not really min-maxing things at the moment, if you will. Our gear could be better, it could be repaired. Sure, we could do some things to reconcile those things. And we will, eventually. But for the most part, the approach that I have at the moment is that we're going to do the things that we feel are most relevant to us at the point in time. You know, if we have quests that we want to do or we want to explore the area, then great. And if we find that we are getting held up that we're not powerful enough to fight the enemies that we want to fight or do the quests that we want to do, then that is the sign to us that, hey, that's an indication that we ought to take a look at our gear, take a look at our experience level as a character, and see if there's a way in which we can buff ourselves up a bit, get stronger, and prepare ourselves for those more difficult, more challenging missions. And yes, we've certainly had a few occasions where that's been a minor concern, like, for example, those quote-unquote super neckers that we encountered a little while back, and I think we were talking about a few other things that were similar to that. But there's never been a point in time yet where I felt like we are entirely trapped, like we don't have anything at all to do because we are too underpowered. So that's sort of been, that's a little bit of an extreme way of describing it, but basically all I mean to say is that it doesn't feel like we are super underpowered. So when we do find ourselves starting to struggle a bit more, then that's going to be our signal that we ought to prioritize those things a little bit more. And for the time being, we'll save up our coins, we'll save up our resources, and that will hopefully make it so that when we do ultimately choose to go a little more aggressive on those upgrades, that we are able to do just that. My personal approach tends to be that I will save up a lot for things, and then
Not so fast.
once I spend a lot. So that's kind of the same approach I'm thinking we might have here. Is at the moment we seem fine, so we'll keep on going, and then
Giddy up.
is this a drowner or something? And then once we do find ourselves feeling like we could use a power up, then that's when we'll start to upgrade things. Hello. Ooh. That might just be the mossy herb thing that we picked up to attract the griffin a ways back. So I'm not necessarily sure. Yeah, we got whatever this thing is, got its attention. Did, momentarily. Pretty sure it's a drowner. It looks like it has the special border around it, so I think this might be a quote-unquote super drowner. Last time we saw one of those guys, I think it was level 10, but level 10 would be fine. If it's higher than that, then we might be in trouble. And I don't necessarily see anything there that is screaming our name, saying that we absolutely must go there. Although there was seemingly a little indication around this guy that could be heading over here. I don't know, on the minimap, but I think we're good. I think that's just special herbs that we don't currently have much of a need for. This, I believe, is now probably far enough to the south and west, yeah, that we are in an area that we have not really explored yet. So there's certainly the chance that we might pop into, or run into, some stuff that we have not yet seen. Some encounters, some secret quests of some variety. Now, granted, I'm going up north a little bit now, I think. No, actually I'm not. I take that back. My sense of direction is, perhaps... whoa! A lot of wolves? I think we can take them. If we draw a weapon. Oh, level 5 wolves, okay. Not complete pushovers. That was, interesting timing with the Quen. I used the Quen as if it was an Igni. I might have forgotten that we were on Quen. Now we have it, though. Hey, guys. Had is maybe now a more accurate term. Theoretically, Warg is the strongest of enemies here. I'm not necessarily sure there's any reason to be fighting these guys other than that there are a bunch of wolves here, and we can. There might be something here that they're guarding, but this kind of just seems like a random wolf gathering, which is kind of cool. Feels realistic in that way, that we're intruding on the pack. Which, you know, is rude of us. Warg is level 8. Was level 8. Still, no, it's still up. Wow. Okay. We'll loot. Not necessarily sure if there's anything special up here, is basically what I'm getting at. Not like these guys were guarding anything in particular, I don't think. Not that I can tell. Ooh, where's this little town? Is this one of the towns we know? It could be at Mulberry Dale. You know, on the mini-map, that looks like Mulberry Dale would be too far away. But I suppose it's possible. If it's a town that we don't know about, then obviously I'd like to explore it. I think probably is Mulberry Dale. Let's just confirm. Yeah, it is. Okay. No worries. We'll head back down into this more unexplored section. See what we find. More wolves, perhaps. Another relatively large pack. Also level 5s. Also blowing through our Quen very quickly, but not too concerned about these guys. And that was maybe not the best timing for activating Quen when we were surrounded by enemies, but we'll be fine. Don't worry about it, he says as the absolute swarm of wolves just surrounds us. And, okay, maybe this is a little bit more than I was expecting ourselves to be getting into. It is a very dramatic sound when you lose the Quen, which is, I think it's a good thing. It makes it much harder to not notice, which is helpful. There, you dodge me. Don't dodge me. Though seemingly sometimes it is louder than others. I don't know why that is. Maybe like one time is, yeah, you're taking damage on the Quen, but it's louder when you actually full-blown lose it. Ah! He says ow, as he gets hit numerous times, and then realizes as he looks up at his HP, it's, took almost no damage, despite that. So, if nothing else, the wolves give a decent amount, well, I don't know how much experience, but they do give us some crafting materials and some raw meat, which is, of course, something that we can use as a source of healing. And since we don't really need any healing when we're fighting them, it does mean, as we saw there, that it is potentially a cost-effective way of loading up on some not-so-great healing items, but still healing items, and with our gourmet perk that allows us to really fight some wolves all the way over here? Is this where we originally fought them? I guess so. With the gourmet perk, it does still mean that we can get a lot of life back, even if the food was not great in quality. Seems like this is just absolute wolf heaven. You look like a dog, though? Not a wolf? In fact, you might not even be... you are an enemy. And there are more of you. Is there a full pack of wild dogs? Maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, that's actually on the other side of the river. It's like, oh. Civilization. You don't say. This, however... Not sure if we saw this one coming. He says, as he's facing Mulberry Dale again. Ah. No. Wrong direction. This way. Probably also wild dog or two over there, in which case... Oh, I'm not super concerned. This, however, does look concerning. Carol, please don't put the weapon away as this is happening. Now, these guys are a little bit... Maybe, kind of, sort of. Is that guy still living, or is he very much not living? He looks like he's still living.
Come on, quick, unbind me before the next ones come.
When they come, I'll tend to them. Meanwhile, let's you and me chat. Like to know who I'm untying.
Yeah, why are you here?
John Verdon. Served in the 10th Maribor Division.
Long way from your army.
My army don't exist no more. Black Ones smashed it to bits. I scarpered off into the woods just before that happened. Joined a group of refugees. Fucking bursting with patriotism, they were. Soon as they learned I'd abandoned Temeria in her hour of need, they beat me down. Tied me up like a turkey, left me to the drowners.
Okay, so he's someone who previously was a Temerian soldier, but then abandoned them in some way, shape, or form. So, is he deserving of being freed or not? Yeah, I think we'll let him free. Obviously, well, there's been pretty harsh punishment for deserters and traitors and all that. So, in the grand scheme of things, relative to the other punishments we've seen, this is not so bad, I suppose. Granted, if the drowners are gonna eat him alive, then, okay, maybe that is comparable to what we saw at the Hangman's Tree. But, we are better than that.
Fine, I'll help.
Oh, thanks.
He's made some
For a minute
mistakes,
there, I was almost sure you'd leave me to die.
but I think it is still
I'd like
better
thank
to
you
free him.
somehow, but I've not a chip crown to my name.
Tough. I'll take the loss.
Thanks, Witcher. May you prosper on the path.
Alright. Not bad. Not bad. Maybe he'll get his life together a little bit and, you know, like, not desert his troops, his peers. But, hey, he's living, at the very least. Thing in these swamplands that we should know about, and, well, there are definitely drowners. Oh. Assuming these are wolves. Again. Or wild dogs. Yup. They are basically a never-ending source of raw meat. So, hard to say no. Especially when they are very straightforward to fight. Granted, he says this as he is getting absolutely pummeled, but we'll be fine. It barely deal any damage. We'll be fine. Probably. Until, you know, we actually end up fighting ones that are not level 1. In which case, we will definitely not be fine. But, we'll see. What is that? Oh, that's the sound of Quinn. I was like, is there a firefly? It's just buzzing in our ear right now. Now, granted, I'm exploring further over here. And that is a bear. It is a little more along the lines of what I might have expected. Hey, buddy. How goes it? Oh, I did not roll out of the way effectively there, apparently.
Lost your nerve?
Can I hit you in the butt? A little bit. Ew, he was not happy about it. Burst his personal space. His personal bubble. Probably should have known that. Still need a little bit more time to get the Quen back up, which would be nice. Ideally not when he's about to hit us. Again, ideally not when he's about to hit us, but we'll be okay. We fought our fair share of bears. Ooh. Almost missed on that one as well. Ooh. Bad timing on that one.
What now, you piece of filth?
Oh, that's not very nice. Compared to the other enemies we've fought, drowners and the likes, Bear is a noble creature. Not so bad. Okay. So, I was a little curious to check out this area in the southwestish corner, assuming we are still in the southwestish corner. Yes, although we are headed northward. Yeah, we should be headed more south than this. We have been in this area. Oh, we're vibrating again. Guessing those are the drowners that we saw earlier, although that is sensing them from quite a ways away. More... oh, Neckers. Okay. That's fine. Another type of enemy that has been good to us in terms of allowing us to get some nice loot. I am thinking of the mutagens, most specifically. And I think that's all of them. Yeah, they have some ridiculous chance of dropping mutagens, as you're probably seeing here. Seems like they are almost always good for helping us out with our stock there. So I'm fine with fighting around on them as well. Hello, friend. Full backflip and everything. But I'm afraid you must go. That's not what I was looking for, although I'm not sure we have much of whatever herb that was. Did not recognize the name of that. I don't think. Huh? Did hear bees. Got the bees! Somewhere. Oh, is this a boat which we might theoretically be able to take at some point? Go somewhere? There's some of your special herby stuff that I don't actually think we need. But there you go. In case you were concerned about us not taking it earlier. Now we have taken some. This boat looks like it has seen some better days. I'm curious if it does list this as one of those boat locations. It does not, and also I said that we ought to go south and then proceeded to go further north. So well done me. The Neckers distracted me, okay? It's all their fault. They were inviting me to the party, and I couldn't say no. I knew they wouldn't invite me again. I turned them down, so had to take up their offer. And we'll find our way south. As we are right now. Ah, okay, yes, we have been here once before. This is where we saw these bazillion drowners previously. As well as, okay, can we maybe get, like, just 2 of them to fight us right now? That would be perfect. Thank you, guys. That is the ditch that you are currently fighting. Okay, the rest of them have found us. Really hoping that we might have been able to take out one of them in advance. We almost did, but not quite. Yeah. I'm stuck on the tree. One down. 2 down. Just jumped toward that guy for dodging purposes because reasons. Okay, 3 down, so we should be in fine shape at this point. Do not anticipate these guys to cause any issues from here on out. But just in case, we'll activate that. And I think that's about it. Here? Somewhere? No, that's not what I wanted. I want the loot from this guy. There we go. Monster ear is just so pleasant to know that we're picking that up, along with monster brains, I suppose. And eyes. And all that stuff, really. So yeah, there was a Scoia'tael dude over here before. I think this is not the southernmost land bridge. Yeah, this is sort of the middle ground. Well, we really want us to be crossing down here. But I think we actually go further south before we start making our transition to the other island. And perhaps fight more drowners along the way. I think we have gone here before as well. And obviously you see all the corpses. I'm pretty sure, again, with the amazing Quen timing, this is also not a great place for us to be standing. Oh, I was gonna say, I thought we'd been here and we probably looted those bodies, but I did see the loot prompt show up there momentarily, so maybe not. Oh, wow. We have taken a lot more damage than I realized we'd taken. Oops. Let's put that on. Is that all in this fight? Some of that carrying over from the previous one? I don't know. I think we did not have a gourmet food healing effect in place at the time, so that probably had something to do with it. I did activate one moments ago. That should make a difference. Also, swinging our sword in the correct direction tends to make a difference as well. So weird how... There we go. The loot is oftentimes not directly on the enemy, and it's a little bit of a guessing game as to where exactly you will find it. So, yeah, apparently, we did not loot these guys earlier. So, all the more reason. Made sure to check this place out. Maybe we saw that guy. We might have stopped there, though, by the looks of things. Okay. It's a nice scenic path. Let's just confirm. Yes, we are headed south. Okay, good. Have you seen this? Large contingent of traitors has deserted the Imperial Army camp. Their betrayal has made them outlaws and common bandits. Until the deserters are caught and punished, it is prudent to avoid any and all contact with them. There you go. Example of how other people not as forgiving when it comes to the traitors / deserters. Okay. These wild dogs, in my defense, here, pretty much unavoidable unless if they start running away like that. In which case, okay, fine. We'll leave them alone. We'll leave them alone. Looks like there could theoretically be something down here. Seemed like there was a little section. But, no. Just Wolfsbane. Not too much of note. Theoretically, the minimap is saying that we ought to go back here. Huh? Really? Does it want us to go? Oh, it does want us to go that middle route. Okay. So yeah, I kind of want to explore down here first and then cut over, which may or may not be a good idea. You know, it could end up being that it just so happens that this area down here happens to be a higher level area than the enemies and quests and whatnot that we would run into if we were to go through this middle route. I don't know, but that is a risk that we will just find ourselves taking, because it is an area that we have not explored as thoroughly. And if it turns out, hey, it's not a good idea, then we can double back and go the other way, or we can... Ooh, lots of stuff here. Or... Oh? Where? Oh, there's a lot of something here. Slave drivers. Okay. Okay. Is there a specific person that we should be keeping an eye on that we need to make sure we're defending? Nilfgaardian Deserter, who are level 16, is a little alarming. We have fought people of somewhat similar levels. Oh, is that might actually be the person we're trying to help? I'm not sure. No, I don't know about that. I'm thinking that is probably not the case, based on how they are currently flinging their weapons at us.
Let's end this.
Yep, including this guy. And they, you know, have the skulls over their head and the red life bars as if they are enemies. But I'm not really sure what the story is here. I have not seen the specific person who is theoretically the one in distress. Oh, I already had that up. Yeah, it would be great if we could take care of the bowmen. Plural. Since they're, you know, like, covering us from afar. So if this guy wants to just let us fight hand-to-hand, 1v1, then that is kind of ideal, but,
What? Lost your nerve?
seems as though they decided they weren't gonna let that happen for long, unfortunately. Preferable as that may have been. So yeah, this would be an instance where this might have been an easier encounter if we were a little bit more leveled up, a little bit more geared up, but I think it adds a little bit more to it. Makes it all the more difficult, all the trickier. And we have to make sure we're executing effectively. If we don't, we're in trouble. I saw that coming. You, don't do that. I saw you trying to load that crossbow. Sorry, sir. I cannot let you do that. Strictly against the rules. Oh, okay, there goes the Quen. That is a priority to get that back on. Got rid of the little guys, the slave drivers, Nilfgaardian deserters. Oh, that is a little bit annoying that the arrow of all things was what ultimately took out the Quen. You are just a little too aggressive at the moment. We are running into a corner here. Wow, that hurt. Make sure we're eating. We may or may not have still had the gourmet buff up. Not super concerned about min-maxing when we are and are not using it. Basically, whoa! Pretty sure you just took out your friend there with the crossbow. So thank you. I suppose that is one potential benefit of keeping the bowman alive, crossbowman alive. All right, come on, dude. Now we get it. You're from Nilfgaard, although you are deserters, and technically we are helping Nilfgaard at the moment. So that would technically suggest that we ought to be on the same team here. If you were not deserters, which I suppose is kind of the whole idea here. Okay, Quen back on. Now let's get in there. Ideally, get the chance to take one of these guys out. We are close to doing a couple of them. Biding my time a little bit here to try to get our Quen back on before we are at risk of taking additional hits. Might this have been the location that we are theoretically trying to save someone from this attack? Maybe. Landing a hit would be great. There's one of them. The larger Nilfgaardian armored dudes down. So that is big. I think it was theoretically one of the crossbowmen, or one of the guys who was a crossbowman at one point before he threw his sword on us. There is Amigo numero dos of that variety. Now, I think it's just the more heavily armored guys at this point who are presumably going to be trickier to take down. Is this dealing any damage at all? I'm not sure. It's obviously blocking some of it. And it seems like the kind of thing where if we could Ard, that might help. And not so much. Maybe even an Axie. I'm not sure if we're going to be strong enough to mind control one of them, but that would be pretty sweet. Fortunate thing is that they do not have... What is that hissing sound? That is disturbing. You turned into a snake mid-fight. There's actually a Viper School Witcher. What's the thing? Let's see. Ow, that hurt. Okay. Can we perhaps do some of that? We can stun them like that. Would be rather nice. Perhaps. But I feel like it may still be the way to go to keep Quen on, because they can deal enough damage that I would be a little bit concerned if one of them were to land or if they were to land a couple of hits in quick succession. And I think that's the worst scenario. Now, granted, I would like to not be backed into a corner, as we were starting to be there. I'm tempted to see if we could perhaps Igni and deal some damage that way. It feels like they might be healing a little bit. I did see that we lost the Quen. Oh, I tried to roll, and then proceeded to roll through them. And there we find ourselves in the exact scenario I did not want to find ourselves in. Like, this guy, we've not dealt much damage to. Is that just because, for whatever reason, he has avoided us, or is he actually healing? If he's actually healing, then we are potentially in trouble here, because this could be a never-ending fight in which these guys can heal faster than we can deal damage. Then we're legitimately in trouble. You see his smaller bar depleting. Don't know if that means he's about to, like, run out of stamina to block or something. Okay. Geralt! Just do nothing when I press the buttons. That also works. Okay. I was trying to hit the attack button, and no such attack was made. Yeah, like, these guys, at this rate, are looking difficult to break through that defense. Do we see the life bar going up at all? Yes, I think I do. Pretty sure I do. So that probably means that we either need a new approach, which, I wonder. I don't remember what the throw that button is. I would like to do that, actually. Nah. That's the key, is to actually get behind him and land some attacks that way, which is far, far easier said than done, is the problem. They're relatively good at making sure that I'm not sinking up behind him. And even when that is the case, it seems to be that it's, they adjust. Or I can sidestep myself. There we go. That's a little bit better. Really the dodge rather than the dodge roll, I think, is the key. And it would be great if we could keep up Quen. Obviously we don't have... At least not yet. Now we do. I did not think you landed that hit. I really don't want to be fighting you. I want to be fighting your friend. Oh, that is not the direction which I wanted to dodge either. Didn't actually mean to swing our sword there, or axe, you know what I mean.
Shit.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just wait. It's a test of our skill. if anything else. Love to have a little bit tighter control of the direction in which we're dodging, so that I could try to be a little bit better about making sure that we are dodging in the direction in which we have a better chance of landing a hit, rather than getting blocked on the shield. I'm attempting to do, but it is certainly not happening every time. That is also not what we're looking to do. We are not looking to chop down a tree. That is not the objective. So if this was actually a person that we were trying to rescue, then presumably they would probably have been, well, something would have happened to them at this point. Obviously, we have been distracting people who are capturing them for quite some time at this point. One down! Hey, look at that. Okay, this guy, for whatever reason, despite us not really focusing on attacking him, does seem to have, still, less than full life. So maybe he's not actually regenerating HP, and maybe I was making that up. I don't know. But it should theoretically be a lot more straightforward once we're fighting just one guy. I would love if you would not land that, though. Loose formation? What does that even mean, bro? Like, that is an example of a time when dashing into his shield is not great.
Damn it.
It would presumably be better if we could actually sneak up behind him, get in a hit, because was doing a good job of making sure that we were not able to do that. That was bad timing on my part. There we go. That's kind of the idea there. Ow. Ooh, that should have been an opportunity to get hit in. Surprised we didn't. Whereas some of these other ones feel like maybe they should not have landed, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Damn.
One of these days. One of these days.
Shit.
Come on. Oh, if we were a little faster with the attack, we might have been able to put that one in. Ooh. Possibly took so long in between hits that we lost our Gwen. I think that might have been what happened there.
Damn it.
Come on, buddy. Not the direction in which I wanted to dodge. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Ow. Okay. Maybe that part wasn't gonna happen, but did still manage to sneak in a couple hits there. There we go. One of these days. One of these days. That was maybe not the best idea to dodge toward him when we knew we just lost our Quen, but
Not good.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. Just you wait. And will I get greedy at the very end? Possibly. Try to rush in and try to deal some damage when we don't have Quen on. That is a possibility. Non-zero chance that might happen. If this person we are theoretically trying to rescue is still alive at the end of this, then they're going to be old and gray, first of all. Second of all, they better be extremely appreciative because, well, It is the world's longest battle. I cannot see anything.
Damn it.
Come on. Come on. No, we don't have Quen on, but at the same time, saw the opportunity presenting itself for a little bit of this. Oh, not quite. Get a better angle. I think I see someone over there. And there we go. Welcome to Dark Souls. Or something like that. I don't know. I've never played Dark Souls, but is that kind of what it's like? Dodging left, right, and center, just trying not to get hit. And, okay. I suppose maybe you have convinced me now that we perhaps could use some upgrades of some variety.